There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this works. There we okay. Now that we're live, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm going to play my video over my microphone first so I can do my breakdown of the fight. Hold on 1 second before links are dropped. Hold on 1 second. So I'm about to play a video that I dropped that got partially blocked because it showed the highlights of the fight. So this is how I felt about the fight. And I'm going to play it, and hopefully y'all can hear it. Here goes the highlights of the fight. They had it a draw. I as well had it a draw contingent on round 11. I'll get into that in just a moment. These are the rounds that I gave both fighters. Sorry, guys, I'm still sick. I gave round 1 to Castano, round 2 to Charlo, round 3 to Castano, round 4 to Castano, round 5 to Charlo, round 6 to Charlo, round 7 to Castano, round 8 to Castano, round 9 to Castano, round 10 to Charlo, round 11 to Charlo, contingent on one thing, round 12 to Charlo. Now, the reason why I keep saying round 11 is contingent is I had to go outside. Somebody kept banging on my door late at night. Crazy ass neighbor, had the wrong fucking house. Fucking idiot. But I missed round 11. So I can't really give a good breakdown. But if Charlo did win round 11 on your scorecard, then he would have had the draw. If Castano won round 11, then Castano had won the fight 7-5 on my scorecard. So let me know what y'all think who won that round. In there, I'm going to do a breakdown of each round in just a moment. And before I get into that, hit the thumbs up, sub, and hit the notification bell. That way you get updated when I drop the newest content like this. And don't forget, without hitting that notification bell, you won't get updated when I do the newest coughing all over videos like this. Sorry, guys, I'm still sick, but I'm trying to put these out for y'all. So, round 1, I gave it Castano. I had Charlo started slow, was looking to counter. Castano landed some good straights to the body and hooks behind the guard of Charlo. Round 2, I gave it Charlo. Counterpunched Castano in exchange and followed it up into a good combination. Charlo started to use the jab more and then started to back Castano up in second half. I'm going to go into round 3. I give it to Castano. Was very lackluster until the end. Castano hurt Charlo in an exchange. Round 4, Castano. Very close round. However, Charlo was on the ropes too much and he was being outgunned. So he was being outlanded. Round 5, I gave it to Charlo. They had a very good exchange at the end. Outside of that, not a lot of action. Charlo landed the cleaner shots. Round 6, I gave it to Charlo. Charlo landed good jabs and straights in between the guard of Castano. Round 7, I gave it to Castano. Castano landed good straights and overhands. Very good hooks to the body as well. Round 8, gave it to Castano. Castano is just piling up the points. He's hitting Charlo with left hooks to the body, to the face, straights, overhand rights, and they just keep piling on. Round 9, gave to Castano. Charlo starts strong with jabs and straights, but allows Castano to push him back. When moving back, Charlo is just getting caught too much. Round 10, I gave to Charlo. Charlo hurt Castano in an exchange, hurt him badly, and his legs did the stanky. He damn near knocked out Castano. Round 11, I gave to Charlo. Again, from what I saw, Charlo was landing the cleaner shots. However, I did not see the full round, so I have to rewatch that so I can really say who I believe won this fight. But from what I saw, which is all I can go off of, even though it's an incomplete round, that's why I'm putting this out there as a disclaimer, I had Charlo up. Round 12, I gave it to Charlo. Very close round. Could have went either way. I just felt Charlo landed the cleaner shots. On that note, guys, I can't really talk for too much longer. I'm still sick, coughing a lot. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. All right. Now that video's done playing, I'll let you jump up here. What's going on, Coach? I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to let y'all talk. I'm not going to talk a lot. As y'all can see, I'm coughing a lot. But here goes the link. Y'all both jump on. I'll let y'all conversate and dialogue back and forth. So we had 9-3 or 9-8 Castano, 7-5 Charlo.
Right? Go to your third floor. That's where you get your elevators at.
What's up?
What's up? So I was talking to somebody about work right now. It's at night right now. But man, I was watching the fight. Hey man, it was a close fight. I'm fair with a draw, but if anybody won that fight, I had Charlo because I thought he nicked the 12th round. And mine was contingent on the 12th round. We pretty much had majority of the same scorecard. I had round one Castano, round two Jermall. I had round two Jermall, round three Castano, round four Castano, round five Jermall, round six Jermall, round seven Castano, round eight could have been a swing round, but I gave it to Castano. Round nine I had Jermall, round 10, 11, 12 I had Jermall. So I thought that he's nicked the 12th. You could make it a draw because the 12th almost ended in a swing. It could have been a swing, but I had Jermall nicking that because I thought he just barely got punched until he nicked that round. And even on the 8th round, I had it a swing, but I kind of gave it to Brian, but you could have made that a swing. So a draw is okay. I'm more than happy with a draw, but to say that Castano won, I don't know about that. I think if on my unofficial scorecards, I had Jermall up 7-5 because I thought he nicked the 12th.
I don't know how much talk I'm gonna do because I don't feel good. For me, I don't know, bro. It all comes down to the 11th round. Like I said, I didn't see the 11th round fully, as I had to walk outside and figure out who the hell was knocking on my door. But I had it a draw if Charlo won round 11. If he lost round 11, I had him losing the fight 7-5 for Castano. It was a very close fight. It was a very entertaining fight, especially at certain times. They both hurt each other in the fight. It wasn't like only Charlo hurt Castano or only Castano hurt Charlo. They both were hurt. I mean, the second round, I don't know how Charlo stayed up because he got cracked twice hard with hooks to the chin. And then in the 10th round, I don't know how Castano stayed up because he was on fucking wobbly noodle legs.
Okay, so you saw the 10th where Castano got hurt really bad. He had to almost like survive that round.
Yeah, I saw the 10th.
Okay, you saw. Okay, because if that hasn't been the 11th, I forgot what round that happened in. Then yeah, Charlo definitely would have had a draw for you. But I mean, this fight is so hard to score because it's like I don't know. I thought that again, I from my scorecard, the 11th went to Charlo. But again, there's some swing rounds in there where you can give it to either fighter. So depending on how you swing the rounds, then like the 12th, you said the 12th could have been a swing round down near, huh?
The 12th could have been, but I gave it to Charlo. I thought Charlo landed the cleaner shots.
I thought that he just landed just a tiny bit more than Castano did, so I just gave him that. I gave him that round, but that's why I had to fight 7-5. But again, this is one of those fights where you have to go back and just like take off and just really focus on the fight because it's kind of hard to score when your emotions are into it. But I would definitely want you to watch that 11th round and see what you would have it. So you're saying at most you would have it a draw.
At most I have it a draw for Charlo.
Okay.
But I'm pretty, like I said, I saw a good portion of the 11th. I just didn't see the full 11th round. I'm pretty sure Charlo won that 11th round, but I can't conclusively say that without seeing the entirety of the round. But I think a draw was a good call on what I've seen. It's very rare. Two reasons why it's very rare. One, it's very rare that you ever see an undisputed go to a draw. Extremely rare.
Has that even happened in the modern belt era? I don't think that's ever even happened in the modern belt era.
I don't know. Not in the 4 belt that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Hey.
What's going on, Boxing Learner? Outside of that, the second thing that makes it very rare that it's a draw is Charlo was such a big hometown favorite that, in a close fight, normally they won't give it a draw. They'll just give the hometown guy, the bigger name, the win. So, this was a best case scenario for Castano in that aspect. But who did you have winning boxing?
Man, bro, Castano won the fight. I thought he won it quite clearly because Charlo was on the ropes, and then the guy he was landing effectively. He wasn't just people got like how can I say this, man? This was just he just didn't do good to me. Like he wasn't doing anything that was effective. Like a lot of those jabs and straight right hands were being blocked. I'm like, it's good that you're keeping them out of range, but you're not scoring with anything. I bet he eventually he did get him hurt in the second round. I think it was the second round, but he
Yeah.
fucked up. He didn't get him out of there. Like I don't know why. What he was kind of leaping. You just kind of see that he was kind of leaping with his punches, trying to really finish him, and it cost him that. He could have won the second round. He could have knocked him out in the second round. And there was another time where he had him hurt, really hurt. He could have knocked him out that round. I think it was like 10 or 11.
You talking about Charlo?
Yeah, Charlo. He had him hurt.
Yeah.
He had him hurt like 2 or 3 times.
He had him hurt very badly in the 10th round. Very bad.
He had him hurt very bad in the second round. He could have finished the fight right then and there. But this guy has wrinkles in his game. This guy is actually really good. And the problem with fighting short fighters is if you miss, they can just slip inside and just hit you with a whole bunch of shots. I think having long arms is actually a disadvantage in boxing, especially if your opponent.
That depends on how you fight, man. That really depends on how you fight. Like if you're somebody who doesn't know how to use the reach, then that's a disadvantage for you if you're going against a Mike Tyson. But if you're a person that has a great jab and keeps them at the end of your punches, that's reach, then it's good. But it just all depends on your skill set. Sorry.
Because the guy, it also depends on the short guy. If the short guy has skills,
yeah, exactly.
The short guy has skills, then you're pretty much fucked. Because once you miss your jab, the guy all he needs to do is take the right amount of steps, and he's in, and you're fucked. And I saw this, and Charlo repeatedly was on the ropes, and the guy was landing effectively. I'm like, damn.
So I will agree with that. I felt like Charlo had his most success when he was keeping the center of the ring and backing Castano up. But too many times in this fight, he allowed Castano to get his back against the ropes. And then another mistake he was making too is when Charlo, the reason why he was getting in trouble against the ropes is he was squaring his hips off. So like if you watch Floyd Mayweather Jr., right, who has a Philly shell but a low guard, Charlo keeps a very low guard at times. The thing about that is if you get against the ropes, you have to stay angular so you can roll. Whereas he was squared up to where his back was flat against the ropes, and he was just getting caught too many times because of it, because he had nowhere to go. So I agree. Charlo was allowing himself to get pushed back way too much and stayed on the ropes way too much.
Tony, I'm really looking forward to you going back in that 11th round and watching the whole thing. But to see what you can bet, what you come up with.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty confident it was a draw.
Fine.
Off of what I saw, but that's just how I saw it. I thought it was a draw. I don't let emotions get into it. I don't let the exciting shots make me and ooh and jump up and down. I just watch it very critically, and I tune all my emotions out so I can try to score this shit as close as I can.
That's pretty much funny.
It's just funny how I was texting somebody at the same time, and I told him I had it a draw, and then it turned out to be a draw.
I had it differently. I was rooting for Charlo, but my eyes couldn't deny what I was seeing. Like
you have to boxing. I'm not getting nice to meet you, man. But as you say, this is the thing. This is that a lot of times people get caught up in the big shots, and while Castano was landing a lot of big shots, you're going to have to account the points that Charlo landed and what missed. So, because some of the shots didn't miss on the glove, and they actually didn't hit his head, so it doesn't count as a point.
Man,
that's why I'm like, the way I score is whoever scores the most shots, regardless if it's big punches, jabs, hooks.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Castano was outlanding the dude a lot, and he was effectively outlanding him.
But
the final, see, I put up a video of the highlights and I had the final punch stats, but it got flagged. But so the final punch stats were this: Charlo landed 151 punches out of 533. Castano landed 173 out of 586. So Castano threw 53 more punches, and he landed, what is that, 22 more punches. But you know, that's through the entirety of the fight. The punch stats are very, very close. 151 and 173 is not a night and day difference spread out over 12 rounds.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Charlo landed 53 jabs, Castano only landed 9. However, the power shots, Charlo landed 98 compared to Castano's 164.
Yeah.
And power shots normally count for more than jabs. So I don't know. Like I said, when I watched it,
hold on. What do you mean power shots count more for jabs? Is that based off of your scorecard?
that's boxing, bro. Like
Under what rule system is that under?
Queensberry.
Queensberry's never stated, because I've read Queensberry rules.
I'm telling you, like, if me and you were in a fight, right, and you landed a right hook to my face, only one right hook, and I only landed one jab to you, you would win the round.
What I'm saying is that can you send me the link where it shows you Queensberry rules that a hook or a power punch is worth more than a jab?
I would have to Google it, but I can tell you every person who's ever judged a boxing match will tell you that power shots are worth more than jabs.
I just think that whoever lands more is really who doesn't get hit. But I mean, again, I have to see if that's under Queensberry rules. I've never seen that. But if I've never seen that, but if you can show that to me, then I'll be more than welcome to look at it.
Man, Castano is way better than I thought he was. I knew he was good, but like he stopped himself from getting stopped multiple times.
Yeah, he did.
Charlo couldn't really chase him down as well. I think he had him hurt in the 11th, but he was like moving laterally, so Charlo couldn't really pin him down.
So, yeah, but it was even though I kind of thought that Charlo may have nicked it, just based again, I have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch it too.
Rewatch it, but with that being said, I can't confidently say that I thought Charlo won the fight. I could not confidently say that because it wasn't clear enough for me to say, oh yeah, that Charlo got robbed or he deserved the decision. I'm okay with a draw. I think a draw is fair. I thought he earned his draw. If he didn't win the fight, he earned his draw. Tony, did you catch the post-fight interviews?
No, I did not. I was too busy trying to make my own video.
Okay. Basically, this is what Charlo fucked up at. Is because I thought he did enough to win it or nick it out or make it a draw. He should have said, oh, no, I won that fight. But it seemed like Charlo didn't want the fight more than Castano did when they did their post-fight interviews. It was like, Castano was like, yeah, I won this fight, yada, yada. And Charlo didn't seem too confident, or he didn't seem like he was caring about the rematch like that. So
yeah, people think they're gonna give him the Korobov treatment, or they're gonna try to ignore him and like act like he don't exist. You know.
That's true. That's probably true. Act like he don't exist. He's too much of a risk for the reward.
I mean, I think at this point they'll have to run it back because nobody's going to want to see him fight anybody else. That's the problem with taking this type of fight. If it doesn't go the way you want it to, you're forced into a run back. Even if Charlo would have lost, they probably would have done a rematch.
Yeah,
that's true. But
man, that was a good one, man.
It was a good fight. I liked it.
That was worth the undisputed, man. That was really worth the undisputed match, man.
It was a good fight. I really liked it.
That's why the 154 division is so competitive, because it's like on any given night, anybody can lose or get a draw. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just. But I gotta give Castano credit though. I mean, he was in that fight. He was definitely in that fight, and I can definitely see an argument of why people thought Castano won. I can definitely see an argument.
Uh-huh.
I can definitely see it though. I'm not gonna sit here and just lie.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the way that I see it is all for me contingent on round 11. Best case scenario, Charlo gets a draw. Worst case, he lost 7-5 on my scorecard. But again, watching the fight, like I think a draw, from my opinion, is a good decision. I don't think this is a robbery draw. I don't, boxing learner, you may look at it differently, but I don't think this was a a reach to get a draw. I think this was a good call because it was very competitive. Like you said, there was a lot of swing rounds. It could have went either way. It depends on what you like. Do you like the guy coming forward being aggressive? Do you like somebody counter punching like Charlo was? Like, what do you like? What how do you judge it? So there's very different ways that you could judge this fight. But overall, I felt like they both had their moments and they both looked bad at moments. And I just think it was good to have it as a draw.
Yeah. I know that's fair.
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna make a video today. Well, it's morning over here now, so I'm gonna wait until I get something I need for the video. I'm gonna make my video tomorrow on this, but I'm gonna watch it again.
Are you gonna watch that 11th round, Tony?
Yeah, I'll watch it back sometime tomorrow because for me, it's only watching 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say, okay, but I mean, man, can we all agree that was a very good fight? And
It was. I liked it.
It was. This is probably the best fight of the year so far. I really liked it. I mean, it was like, and at one point it was like, Castano got Jermall up on the ropes, and Jermall was like, "Get the fuck up off me!" and started fighting back. It was like, Tony. Remember that part where like,
yeah,
Castano had him up against the ropes, and then Jermall was like, "Oh hell no!" He started fighting back. You backed him up off of him.
Yeah, it was like I really liked it because the Charlo people were really there for him. Like anything Charlo was like I felt like he had this guy. He could have really got this guy out here. It's just that the second round, I think that was the best one that he could have got him out of there. The 11th round, Castano was making it hard.
10. When he really hurt Castano and had on wobbly legs, it was 10th round.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I will say this too. I think that Derek James. Did you see some of his commentary work on the fight? Did you guys see that?
No, I always turn it off.
Oh, you turn it off. Okay. One thing I'll give Derek James, he's a very excellent coach, and when he started to follow, Jermall started to follow his game plan, he's had success. I feel like this fight, Jermall made it like this. He made it like this where you know what I'm saying? Like he made it this close competitive fight, and it didn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? I really felt that. I don't know if you guys felt that way, but there's some times where I'm like, bro, you can move to your left or move to your right and get off the ropes.
Okay.
Don't you feel like that? Like at times I feel like Jermall was stayed in the pocket too much against the ropes and wanted Castano to come in so he can counter punch, but Castano was being the best of him on the ropes. So I feel like Jermall kind of gave it away.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know if you felt that way, Tony, but do you kind of feel that way?
Like, that's what I was saying earlier about he was backing up way too much. Like you can't. Like first off, you're 5'11". The guy you're fighting is 5'7". Like you got so much reach. You got 4 inches of height and reach on this dude. Well, the reach is even more because I think he had a 73-inch reach. Charlo does. So I mean, you got too much range on this guy to just be sitting against the fucking rope and giving it all away because that's what he did. He just gave it all away.
I'm like, I was kind of, I'm like, that's where I had like a Tiafimo moment. So I'm like, you remember when Tiafimo? I was like, why isn't Loma throwing more punches? I was like, why is this guy on the road so much? I'm like, it was like a weird thing going back. I'm like,
I was like, what the hell? I was like, what is this? I feel like because sometimes in boxing, when you watch boxing, it's like, oh, this guy can't do anything. He's trying. But I honestly felt Jermall could have he could have nicked another round or two had he just like followed his coach's game plan, and told him to get off because Jarek was in the corner telling him like, bro, back him up, get off the ropes, stop staying on the ropes. But he was too stubborn because he was trying to counter shot. I'm like, that wasn't working, so stop doing that.
Yeah. I think he was looking for that big knockout.
He was.
Yeah.
That was a good fight, though. I got my money's worth from that.
Good fight, though. Yeah.
I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off, guys, because I keep coughing. I keep trying to walk away from the mic to cough, but I want to say this. Yo, Rolly, he might have got the knockout, but that dude fucking sucks.
Bro, he does.
Rolly gonna get his ass whooped.
He's a hype job. I mean, he lunges in with his punches. He gasses out quick. He's very slow. He doesn't keep his hands up. This guy's gonna get his ass. He
was running into so many straight rights, like it was fucking stupid.
I
He
can't
is.
believe that's a product of the Mayweather boxing gym. Because that,
Nah, he,
Yeah,
and I thought that he got a gift decision and won his fights. He won his fights, where the other guy should have run the fight.
he did. He
he
did.
did. It was a huge gift decision.
What fight was that? I forget.
Jackson Marinas.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
was a robbery. That was a
that
true.
that
That
was
was
a
a true
robbery.
robbery.
Jackson Marinas. Was it him? I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you have that fight?
He got completely destroyed. Like he got embarrassed. Like no, he didn't even do shit.
Yeah.
They, they're trying to make money off of him because of that Ryan shit. They really trying to push him out there so he can get up there with those guys, but he's not up there with those guys at the top of
Hey,
lightweight.
you know what? You know what? It'll be interesting to see Ryan go up to 140 and fight him because I feel like Ryan's a little bit of a hype job. I'm sorry. I think that he's a knockout waiting to happen, and I would
Yeah.
love to see that. I would love to. I feel like Ryan definitely has more skills than him, but
Mhm.
if he moves up to 140 and fight Rolly, I feel like Rolly has enough power where he can hurt Ryan, and I feel like Ryan has enough skills to outbox Rolly, so that'll be like a great fight.
Yeah, it would be.
What do you think?
I'm my opinion of Ryan Garcia has not changed. Now, here's the problem with Ryan. Mentally, he's proven to be weak. So in a hard fight, I don't know what happens. He may
You see
fall
what I'm
apart.
saying?
But all his capping aside, all his ducking aside, I think Ryan beats all of them. I think he can beat Lomachenko. I think he can beat Teofimo Lopez. I think he knocks out Tank Davis. I think he beats Devin Haney.
He knocks
And
out.
I don't think any of them can beat him because when I look at Ryan, yes, he's there to be hit. His chin is there, wide out in the air. However, he's got a lot of fucking power, and the speed that he attacks, these dudes aren't really seeing it till they're hit and they're down. Like, and he's only getting stronger and faster as he gets older because he's so young. Is he 22 or did he turn 23?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
he's still 22 right now.
So still 22 years old. At 22 years old, you're looking at that speed and that power, and that's only going to get better. It's not like Devin Haney to where he's a very good boxer, but not a lot of power there. Ryan has a whole lot of fucking power at a very young age, which
So you're
means
saying-
that the older he gets, the worse it's going to become for the people he's hitting.
That's agreed. He definitely has potential, but I'm saying you think right now that he beats these guys right now,
Right
not
now,
5 years,
right
3 years.
now.
I
If you
agree.
can get his scary ass inside of the ring, I think he wins.
I don't.
I think Ryan needs.
I think that Ryan. This is my opinion. I think Ryan Garcia's style is tailor made for somebody like a Tank Davis. When he lifts his chin up, I think Tank is going to clock him with a shot,
He'll never get
and knock
there.
him down. I
He'll
think.
never
See,
get
this is
there.
why
Okay.
boxing's good.
So check this out. Check this out. Tank Davis just fought Barrios. Okay, Barrios, who is smaller than Ryan Garcia, he's naturally smaller. Barrios started at 122 pounds before he went up to 140. He was only a 122-pound fighter. Yes, he's had like 8 or 9 fights at 140, but whatever. Ryan Garcia has never been 122 pounds, never a day in his life. So he started where he's at now. He's naturally bigger. He's the same height as Barrios, except he attacks way faster, hits a hell of a lot harder. What did we see whenever Tank got in there with Barrios? He didn't know what the fuck to do early against the size, to the point of where Mayweather came to his corner and was like, "You're losing the fucking fight," because he just, I'm telling you, I can't see it. I think he's going to get caught too much and knocked out at 5'5". I think he's just going to get caught too much.
I think you're missing some things. You know, Barrios was actually trying to use his reach and establish his distance, and Barrios was also moving around the ring, you know, pretty well. Not like a super skilled, slick fighter, but enough, you know, to keep himself in the fight long enough that he did. And plus, he was kind of tough on top of that. That's why he lasted as long as he did. And
I mean,
Gosh, listen. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia can't get better, but I just don't think he has the experience right now because he's just too green to beat. I don't think he beats anybody. I honestly think that he's the weakest of the generation right now, under 140. 140 and under, I think he's the weakest right now. But you're correct. I could definitely see him in about 3 years time or something like that, 2-3 years time, when he's a little bit more seasoned. And he can definitely, I mean, with his speed and his boxing IQ, I can definitely see that. But I think his chin right now and him being a little bit too green right now is what's going to cost him. I think you can make one mistake against somebody like a Teofimo, one mistake against somebody like a Tank Davis, and then they're going to take him out. That's what I honestly think. But hey,
I just I hear that argument, but I don't understand it because yes, he got floored by Luke Campbell, but he got up. And after he got up, Luke did absolutely nothing to him. And Luke ended up himself getting knocked the fuck out. And nobody's even knocked out Luke but him.
But if I can remember correctly, again, I watched so many fights at this point. If I can remember correctly, wasn't Luke giving him the business overall until he got hit and dropped and with the body shot?
No. It was competitive. It was competitive up to the point where Ryan got dropped. After Ryan got dropped,
man,
for the rest of that round,
he didn't really do anything after that. Ryan, it was pretty much every round.
I think. What do you think would happen if somebody was a little bit more seasoned, like a Teofimo Lopez or Tank Davis was in there after he knocked him down like that?
Oh yeah, I can see that.
You see what I'm saying?
But this is the problem. This is what I was trying to tell another channel in the chat that I was talking to. Here's the thing about Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia. Okay, this is what I call being in danger all the time. When I fought, I used to love fighting short people, and I fucking extremely loved it fighting tall people. Oh, I fucking love fighting tall people because once you get in, they're done. However, I hated fighting motherfuckers my own fucking height. I fucking hated it because when you fight somebody your own height, you're at danger no matter where the fuck you go. If you're at range, you're at danger because they're the same height, pretty close to the same length, so you can be hit. When you can hit them, they can hit you. At mid-range, y'all can hit each other. At close range, y'all can hit each other. So there's nowhere you can go in that ring and be safe from being touched when you fight somebody your own height. Luke Campbell is the same. He's 5'9", an inch shorter than Ryan Garcia. They're practically the same fucking size. Tank Davis is 5'5". So even though Luke landed those shots, he was hit by a guy who was the same size. It's not like somebody short punching up. It's completely different. Although I think Tank is more skilled than Luke Campbell, it's still different.
I would love to see, something. I would love to see Tank's chin tested because it hasn't really ever been tested. I mean, he seems to have a decent chin, but again, I've never seen him go up against somebody who just has a monstrous punch. I mean, Gamboa was pretty much shot at this point.
So he blew out his leg in the second round too.
He blew out his leg. I would have loved to see Gamboa go in there with a full healthy leg and just go at it with him because that would have been a funny one. That would definitely have been a barn burner.
Well, there's not many people that have the power over there at PBC that he's fighting, that he's going to fight. That's in the stable.
I would love to see that. Love to see him go against somebody who's a really power puncher.
So what do you think?
Like a Teofimo Lopez, I would love to see that just to see how his chin holds up.
I don't think so. Looking at how Tank's built, he's built like a tank. He's short, stocky, carries a lot of muscle, got a thick neck. I don't think anybody can knock him out with one punch. Normally, the bigger your neck is, the more damage you can absorb. That's all the neck is. It's like it just absorbs damage for blows to your head. So he's got a real thick neck. So I don't think a Teofimo Lopez or even a Ryan Garcia is going to knock him out the first hit. But the question that I have is, I think Tank, if he lands clean, could probably knock anybody out. However, when you're 5'5", how many shots are you going to eat before you can land your big shot? That's the real question for me, is how many big shots can he take? I don't know.
That's why is not. I have a question for you, Tony, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm just wondering, is that true about the thickness of your neck? Because Mike Tyson had a thick neck. I mean, a huge neck, and he definitely wasn't feather. He definitely wasn't glass jaw, but he didn't have like a extremely hard jaw either. Like he couldn't go up to get somebody who he could not take so many punches. You can only take so many punches before he broke. So what I'm saying is that true?
With that at all.
Huh?
Who broke Tyson with punches, especially in his youth?
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas did not break him with punches. if you watch that fight, Mike Tyson was getting his ass whooped from the first round to where he got knocked out. It's not like Douglas hit him 1 or 2 times and knocked him out. He was beating the brakes. No. What I'm saying is he was beating the brakes off of Mike Tyson for that whole fucking fight. And then he knocked him out. So I would have to disagree off of that. Like Tyson clearly was durable because he got his ass whooped the entirety of the fight.
No, I didn't say he wasn't durable. Excuse me. I think he is durable, but I think his neck was so thick that you would expect him to have a jaw of a jaw of like a stone jaw. I'm talking about a jaw like a Hagler jaw, where you almost never seen him in trouble or something like that. That's what I mean. Or a James Toney jaw. Go ahead.
So you guys think that that they're gonna make the Tank fight with Gary Russell? Because Gary Russell, my problem with Gary Russell is that he's too inactive and he actually doesn't do anything with his career. He's still a career featherweight. You know, I'm waiting for him to do something, move up.
I think Gary's too small, man.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. He actually may be just too small. Like
I think he's too small because he even saw him up against Lomachenko, and then he was a little small there. So he goes up against Tank. I think he's just too small, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that they actually recognize that the guy's too small. He's not willing to move up. Like you see JoJo, he's done moved up a couple of times after they fought, and he's doing fine.
I think Gary Russell, I was on mute. I was trying to talk back and realize that my mic was on mute. But I think Gary Russell's a very good fighter. I do not think he can take Tank Davis. I think Tank Davis pretty much just pulls a Leo Santa Cruz type performance. I mean, he even did it to Barrios towards the end. Just puts up that high guard, walks through him, and catches him. I don't think Gary. Now Gary's super fast, but I don't think he can take that type of damage that Tank is going to inflict on him. I think it's going to add up as it gets later. But real quick, back to Tyson, because I was trying to respond, but I guess, like I said, my mic was on mute. You got to remember, whenever Tyson fought Douglas, right? Douglas, like I said, he was beating the brakes off him from the first round. I think he got knocked out in the 10th round. However, when you watch that fight back, right? Was it the 8th round that Tyson knocked Douglas down? I think it was the 8th. I'm not positive, but I want to say it was like the 8th or the 9th round that he knocked Douglas down for the long count, for the 15-second count, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you go to the 10th round to where Tyson was knocked out, the referee did a quick count. So instead of it being a 10-second count, it was over in like 8 seconds. And on top of that, when Tyson went down, he like was looking around, picked up his mouthpiece, put it in his mouth, went to get up. And, the referee ran on him and called off the fight. So I would say that his chin was very durable because I don't even know how many unanswered shots he was taking between the 9th and 10th round before he went down. Like, he was just getting fucking beat up bad.
Okay. Well, what I mean is he has a good chin, yes. But I'm talking about a 10 out of 10 chin, like a granite chin. We're talking about, again, Hagler. Talking about people who could just take a shot. I mean, they can go up against a power puncher and still be okay. I'm talking about some of the greatest chins of all time. I don't put them in that category. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Was Hagler ever beat up that bad?
No, he did go up against Tommy Hearns and he got buzzed a few times. But Tommy Hearns can crack, He can
right.
Crack.
But my point is this: even against Hearns, there was no point in that fight to where Hearns was just beating the brakes off of him with unanswered shots.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, that's the difference. Like, yes, Hearns was more of a dangerous fighter in the Hagler fight than Douglas was against Tyson. That was just supposed to be like a tune-up fight so that Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield could fight, because that was originally when they were supposed to fight, but Tyson lost. And then I think Evander went on to beat Douglas. Mm-hmm. And Douglas's next fight, if I remember correctly, like I was a little ass kid whenever all that shit was happening. So I'm trying to remember. I think I'm remembering correctly though. But the thing about it is, my only point is,
what I'm saying is this:
you could have
Tyson's chin as talking about an all-time great chin. Is what I'm saying. Like you would put him up there with anybody with chin
I
wise.
don't I don't know because the problem when Mike Tyson is used is you have two different Mike Tysons. You have the Costamata Mike Tyson, and then you have the Don King Mike Tyson. And the Don King Mike Tyson wasn't the same fighter that he was with Costamata. Like the dude was not disciplined. He was doing drugs, fucking bitches, anything you could think of. So he's a very hard person to gauge because of all the other shit that he did that ended up, he ruined his own career. Then he went to jail, came out of jail, wasn't really the same. You see what I'm saying? Like he's a very hard person outside of talking about like power and speed to judge how good he could have been or was because of all the bullshit that happened to him.
I think that's true and that's fair. I think that Mike Tyson is the type of person you can just sit back and evaluate. Is that he maximized his gifts, at least in his early stages of careers, for being such a short dude, going up to heavyweight and able to floor these guys who are easily 4, 5, 6 inches taller than him. I think he's a guy who maximized his gifts and his talents. I think that I do put him in an all-time great type of level, but I don't put him like a high all-time great. Like I don't know if I could put him in the top 10 heavyweights of all time. I don't know if I could put him there, but I definitely think that he's the type of person that maximizes his dimensions, his for a very short dude for heavyweight. He's a guy who maximized his potential. Is what I'm saying. Until the point he went to jail and then came out and then it's a different fighter.
I think, like I said, I think he was a different fighter before that because I mean he was with Don King and all that when he fought Douglas. I think after Costamata died was pretty much the end of whatever Mike Tyson could have been. I don't think Mike Tyson ever actually reached his best. I think he got to a point, Costamata passed away. He looked at him as like a father figure. So we'll say, to me, Costamata was like the leash around the pit bull's neck. And once that leash came off, the pit bull just ran and went wild. You know what I mean? Did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. But that wasn't the smart thing to do in like a fighter's life. You know what I mean? If you're fighting other people who are training nonstop, living a crazy life like that's gonna catch up with you. And I think it caught up with him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, like when you look at Mike Tyson has the quickest knockout still to this day in Golden Gloves. I mean, he's the youngest heavyweight champion that ever was, youngest lineal heavyweight champion that ever was. Like, there's so many things that he had going, and then Costamata passed away, and then it all goes away. So I don't know. I really don't know.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. We'll never get to know how great he could have been. Again, we don't know because I agree with you. I don't think that. I think that he was maximizing, but at that point, but again, when Costamata died, I think that, like you said, he just went haywire. And I think that, again, I agree with you. I think that he could have possibly been better, but I'm not sure. We'll never know that question.
Never.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna hop off, Tony. I got some other things I got to do, man. It was nice chopping it up. I appreciate you giving me a platform to speak, and you send me the links, and you're not too big to do that, so I appreciate it, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you jumping on, and I'm about to get off too because I just keep coughing in the background.
Okay, all right. Hope you get better, man. All right, Boxing Learner, bro. It's nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, see you.
Cheers.
You want to say anything before you go boxing? Shout out your channel. Anything?
Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna get some sleep.
All right, I'm about to get some sleep too. You have a good night.
You too. Peace.
All right, bye.